The day of dread has arrived. Your teenager tells you they want to buy a motorcycle, and you're instantly filled with anxiety and worry. Now, many parents out there are often faced with this challenging situation. I am, of course, talking about a teenager who is ready for more independence, but you're concerned that they're simply not mature enough for it right now. Alternatively, you may be somebody who struggles with a condition like ADHD or autism, where executive dysfunction rules your life. Or perhaps you're even somebody who supports somebody who does have these kinds of conditions. But what if I told you there's a bike that makes motorbiking easier and more accessible for a whole minority group of people who need a little extra support? Artisan Electrics may not have meant to, but with the Naxeon I AM PRO, they've incidentally brought the most beginner-friendly machine to the UK market. And here is why.
This one was completely my fault.
This bike is all about managing overwhelm and distractions for brains that don't always want to play by the rules. So let's jump into what makes this bike great for new riders and those who need a little bit extra support on the road. One of the most significant features of the Naxeon I AM PRO is its twist and go throttle. There's no clutch to juggle or gears to shift. You just hop on, twist the throttle and move. Fewer things to control means fewer chances for things to go wrong on the road. This removes a massive mental load that can trip up new or divergent riders regarding clutch control and gear changing. But what about when you start moving and encounter an issue on the road? Well, the brakes, they are what I would describe as panic-proof. They're linked and evenly balanced. This means that when you encounter a panic moment and you need to slam on, you won't accidentally grab too much of the front or the rear brake. Unlike a traditional bike, it's built to be intuitive. The bike helps you stop smoothly and safely without punishing mistakes, even in high-stress situations, keeping the rider safer on the road whilst they're still learning. Now, point number 3, it is a 125 equivalent. The Naxeon I AM PRO is classified as a 125cc equivalent electric bike, which makes it perfect for CBT riders who are just getting started. If you're not quite ready to fully commit to a full bike lifestyle, or if you're a parent who's hesitant on dropping big money on a direct access, as well as the bike, the mods and all the gear, before you're fully sure if it's something they want to do, it hits that sweet spot. It's affordable, it's low maintenance, and it doesn't require a full motorcycle license to get started. And if you're someone waiting to do your direct access, this makes an excellent step up from a 50cc or a moped. You get real road presence, higher speed, and more freedom without jumping in at the deep end. Now, the next feature that I want to talk about is the ring lights. One of the coolest standout features of this bike is its color-coded ring lights. These lights are connected to the front and rear radars on the bike, which give you real-time visual cues that you can process at a glance. Effectively, these bracelet lights pulse and change with your speed, braking, and radar alerts, and even if somebody is too close to you from behind. Let's talk about the next feature, which is the safety net for lost keys. Let's talk about forgetting stuff. Now, losing your keys is an inherent part of being a biker, even without being young and dumb. However, this bike doesn't just use a key. Instead, it uses a secure NFC fob. And if you happen to lose it, your phone will also act as a key. Simply walk up and unlock it with the phone app. But what about if your phone is dead? Well, you can install the app on multiple devices. So if the worst happens, you can always contact your emergency contact and have them unlock the bike remotely. But what about the lost keys themselves? Can someone find them and unlock your machine? Well, actually no, because once you've remotely unlocked your bike, you can simply go into the bike setting and remove any lost keys and even pair brand new ones. And because it runs on NFC, you can pair key cards, fobs, and even NFC rings to act as keys. The next feature about this bike is the built-in structure. One of the biggest struggles for young riders is dealing with distractions and remembering routines, as well as looking after their stuff. However, this bike takes all of these things very seriously. Parents can rest easy knowing the touchscreen locks while riding, so they can't fiddle with buttons or menus when their brain should be watching the road. On top of that, the app reminds you when to charge the bike, what the battery status is, and even if your tire pressure is low. But one of the most incredible things about this bike is its built-in solutions. You can pop in a SIM card as well as an SD and unlock a whole variety of onboard navigation features. That means no more fumbling with your phone at traffic lights, or trying to remember if you were supposed to take a left turn or the other left. Instead, the directions are right there, clear, accessible, and always ready to reroute you, when you drift off course. For anyone who finds charging their phone a little bit of a pain, this is a huge relief. Let's talk about another feature, which is geofencing. This is a game changer, especially for parents. Now, with the Naxeon I AM PRO, you can set a virtual boundary on a map. What that means is that if that bike leaves that particular area, you will get an instant alert. So whether you're making sure your teenager stays within a specific safe zone, or you want to give yourself peace of mind that your machine isn't being stolen, it is fantastic. Now, the Naxeon I AM PRO shines in everyday rural life. Think about college commuting to work, popping into the town for errands, meeting up with some friends, or even hitting the gym. It's built for that kind of rhythm. In those day-to-day trips, I generally think the battery life is really impressive. I actually went multiple days without even thinking about charging the machine, which is a huge win for anybody who struggles to remember to fuel up. However, in terms of long distance riding, it's not really the bike's strength. But for somebody who was commuting to sixth form or work down the road, or even just starting their independence journey, it is an ideal bike. There is no messing around with petrol stations, forgetting to refuel, or even losing your bank card. It's as simply as getting home and leaving it permanently plugged in when it isn't being used. You set it up, you forget about it, and then when you are ready to go, it's at 100%. Alternatively, for somebody who has maybe learning difficulties and tends to have a set routine, places to go, maybe local clubs or friends that they meet on specific days, you will find the range is far more than you will need for multiple days of use before it requires charging. Now, because the bike is capable of being charged by a UK 3-pin plug socket with the adapter, then as long as you're in the routine of plugging it in when you return home and leaving it plugged in, it means you will never find yourself without fuel or facing hefty fuel costs. Now, the next feature that is absolutely outstanding for young riders is something that brings a lot of people peace of mind, especially for parents or partners who worry. Now, this bike has a built-in 360-degree video recording. This kind of silent backup is invaluable for new riders who may freeze or panic under stress. It's not just about riding smart, it's about riding safe. And knowing that your bike's got your back, even when things go sideways, is an incredibly handy tool to have. The Naxeon I AM PRO isn't just a stylish electric vehicle, it is a smart companion that is going to support you. It responds to your instincts and simplifies your routines. So if you're tired of vehicles that overwhelm you, underdeliver, and just don't get what you need, it might be time to try this for a ride. At the end of the day, whilst most bikers aren't big on electric bikes, the Naxeon I AM PRO isn't just a cool piece of technology. It's a genuinely thoughtful ride that lowers the barrier to entry for so many people who are usually left out of the motorcycling world. Now, if you guys would like to see more great bike content, don't forget to hit subscribe. In the meantime, my name's Safi Sprocket, and I'll see you next week. Bye!
This one was completely my fault.